Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to Third Unitarian Church. We're so glad you could be with us here this morning to celebrate life, to grieve our sufferings, and connect with one another. We welcome all people in this church, and we welcome your whole person. We hope that you find Third Unitarian Church to be a place that enriches your spirit and motivates you to take action to bless the world. If you're visiting with us today, we'd like to pay you a special welcome and invite you to join us downstairs after the service for coffee hour. The Truly Alive auction will be held after service on Sunday, May 3rd. Support our programs and have a great time too. Bring your friends, your money, and have a good appetite. Lunch will be served. This Friday, May 1st, is a phone calls for Justice Action event asking Speaker of the House Mike Madigan to meet with Community Renewal Society and the over 500 people of faith who will travel to the state capitol on May 12th to discuss bars to employment for people with records, police brutality, and justice in education reform. Please see Karen Alanis at coffee hour for more information. In related news, at the annual meeting, the congregation will be voting about joining the Community Renewal Society. CRS is an organization of churches and community organizations that develops key community action issues by listening to leaders from the member congregations and community residents. The current issues are reforming education funding, removing barriers to employment, reducing violence, opposing mandatory minimums, and fighting for good jobs and housing, as well as ending police brutality. You can find more information at CRS's website or by speaking with Karen Olanis. Next Saturday, May 2nd, is the Mayfield Community Garden Build Day. Please come out and assist the gardening committee in building raised beds for our neighborhood across the street. The work is scheduled from 8 a.m. to noon, and lunch will be served by Betty DePasquale's Covenant Circle. Our forum next Sunday, May 3rd, will continue our preparation for the May 17th annual meeting. During these forums, you will learn about the budget, propose changes to the bylaws, and meet the board candidates. Become informed and vote with wisdom. Our celebration of life service next week begins our exploration of our May monthly theme, tradition, with the sermon, "It's just the way we do things around here." Are we a people of traditions? What traditions are hidden and which ones are revealed? Sometimes talking about music is just the tip of the iceberg. How do we do church at Third Unitarian? Once again, welcome to Third Unitarian Church.
Chimney swift that finds me behind keeper, silhouette of the sea. light this chalice as a symbol of hope, faith, freedom, and love, and to connect with Unitarian Universalists in the past, present, and future. The opening words are from the poet Naomi Shahid Nye, a poem called The Dream. Sometimes a dream lands so hard it flattens you. I liked it better before, you moan, waving my dream like a silk handkerchief, light and soundless above my head. It could have been anything, a kite, a bird, a large balloon with 3 passengers. Instead, it landed in your lap. You asked for it. Secretly, you had been reeling it in for months, like a trapped fish. Too big for the net, it loves you more than you love it. It wants to stay here forever, smiling and cuddling in the bosom of your days. Please rise and body your spirit and join us in singing the opening hymn, number 187.
Wow, a lot of people here today. Good morning. Okay, but I'm going to face the book that way, so if you want to see, you might want to be in front. Can you stand by so that people can see? So my question for you this morning is, have you ever learned something kind of like in a really strange way that you didn't expect? That ever happened to anybody? Well, that's okay because it happened to this little boy, Ramon, and I'm going to tell you about him, and then I'm going to ask you kind of like what he learned about himself, okay? Kind of by accident. This is Ramon, right here, and he loved to draw. Anytime, in bed, anything, anywhere. Look, he's even drawing in the bathroom, sitting on the potty. He really loved to draw. Well, one day, Ramon was drawing a vase of flowers, and his brother Leon, who was much older, he leaned over his shoulder, and he burst out laughing. "Ha! What is that?" he said. Ramon could not even answer. He just crumpled up the drawing and threw it across the room. Leon's laughter haunted Ramon. He kept trying to make his drawings look right, but they never did. Well, after many months and many crumpled sheets of paper, Ramon put his pencil down. "I'm done." Marisol, his sister, was watching him. "What do you want?" he snapped. There's Marisol, she's younger. "I was watching you draw," she said. Ramon sneered. "I'm not drawing. Go away." Marisol ran away, but not before picking up a crumpled sheet of paper. "Hey, come back here with that," Ramon yelled. And he raced after his sister up the hall and into her room. And look what he found. He was about to yell at her, but he got really quiet when he saw his sister's walls. On her walls were all his crumpled up pieces of paper, the drawings that he tried to make look right. Marisol pointed at one of them on the wall and said, "This is one of my favorites." "That was supposed to be a vase of flowers," Ramon said, "but it doesn't look like one." "Well, it looks vase-ish," she said.
And flowers look very perfect.
The what?
The flowers look a lot. It's very good.
The flower looks like a real flower to you? Yeah, I agree. Vase-ish? Ramon looked closer, and then he studied all the drawings on Marisol's walls, and he began to see them in a whole new way. "They do look ish," he said. Ramon felt light and energized. Thinking ishly allowed his ideas to flow freely, and he began to draw what he felt, loose lines quickly springing out without any worry. Look, draw, Ramon. He's throwing them all around, right? I think it's supposed to show like how much he was drawing. Ramon once again drew and drew and drew the world around him, and he made making an ish drawing felt wonderful. He filled his journals. Tree-ish, house-ish, boat-ish, afternoon-ish, fish-ish, sun-ish. Can you sit down a little so they can see me? Ramon realized that he could draw ish feelings too. Peace-ish, silly-ish, excited-ish. His ish art inspired ish writing. He wasn't sure if he was writing poems, but he knew they were poem-ish. He wrote ponder, pond, ponder, dream yonder, pond, pond, yond, yond, gleam, wander. Ramon. poem, Ish. One spring morning, Ramon had a wonderful feeling. It was a feeling that even Ish words and Ish drawings could not capture. He decided not to capture it. Instead, he simply enjoyed it.
He looks like he's at the beach.
He does look like he's at the beach, and he looks so happy and calm, doesn't he?
And I think he actually is.
You think he actually is relaxed and calm? I think you're probably right.
At the beach.
Oh, at the beach. You think he's at the beach. It looks like it, doesn't it? And Ramon lived ishfully ever after. So what do you think Ramon learned about himself kind of sort of on accident?
He actually likes to draw fish.
That he could draw ishly? That it wasn't his fault? Okay. Eli, what were you going to say?
That he learned that nothing needs to be perfect.
Eli said he shouldn't be mad about his pictures. What'd you? Is that what you said, Jude?
Yeah,
That-
nothing needs to be perfect.
Nothing needs to be perfect. Yeah?
Actually, nothing should be. If everything was perfect, there would be no anything.
Quentin said if everything was perfect, there would be no anything at all.
Everything in every place would be exactly the same.
Everything would be exactly the same. Boring, right? We'd all be atoms. The same color and size. Mm-hmm.
Walking blind.
Well, I thought it was cool that he learned to be himself, and that being himself was a good thing, and he didn't have to do things like anybody else did them.
Always been copyrighted. Get it copyrighted.
I got it. So I suggest that you be yourself and be as ish as you want to. Thank you for listening to my story. You can go return to your seats or go up to the RE space.
A congregation is a community in which we share in one another's lives. We recognize that our relationships with one another are sacred, and we hold each other in love through both celebration and through grief. Irene, would you be willing to light our candles during our Joys and Concerns ceremony? We light a candle to honor the life and mourn the death of Eula Ruffin, Roberta Wilson's sister, who passed at the end of March and was laid to rest on April 3rd. Our thoughts and our prayers are with Roberta and her family during this time of loss. We light a candle to celebrate the life and mourn the death of Frank Kane, James Kane's father, who died last week Sunday at the age of 92. We hold James and his family, especially Frank's surviving wife of 60 years, Anne, as well as their 4 surviving sons and their family, in our hearts during this time of grief. We light a candle to celebrate the life and mourn the death of Louise Rummage, sister of Bernetta Howell Barrett, who died on April 22nd. We hold Bernetta and her family in our thoughts and our prayers while they are in their grief this week and during their memorial service and funeral today. We light a candle for the people of Nepal, where an earthquake yesterday devastated the capital city and killed thousands. We hold the survivors in our thoughts and prayers in their grief and trauma, and pray for healing for the city and the country. We light a candle to wish Irene Mostek a bon voyage and calm seas as she travels to Berlin tomorrow for a river cruise with friends. We light a candle in celebration for Mandy McGlynn, who was accepted into Meadville Lombard Theological School, where she will seek a Master's of Divinity degree and begin the path to pursuing community ministry. We light a candle in celebration for Kathy Jean's daughter, Mary, who married Phil Frigo in February of this year. We light a candle in celebration for Sylvie Keir Covell, new daughter of Sharon Kerr and Brian Covell, who is being celebrated this afternoon at Ann Korber's house. We light a candle for the blessing of Madeline Franco, who blessed us with her child dedication last week, granddaughter of Leah Shapiro and daughter of Angela and Jimmy Franco. Finally, we light a candle for all of those joys and concerns that remain unspoken but are still moving in our hearts. And now I'd like to invite you all to take a deep breath. Find yourself in your pews, your sit bones resting evenly on your seats, your vertebrae stacking one on top of the other to the very tip top of your head, which is floating like it's being pulled up on a string. And find your breath. Moving in and out this force of life. Come into being. Spirit of life and love, Holy One of our being and our becoming, that which is sacred within, among, and beyond us. May we be open to the great mystery. Be open to the movement of our own minds, the ishness of our own hearts. Open to the way that the world works on us and in us. May we be open to revelation. In our thoughts, our words, and our deeds, may we witness truth unfolding. May we recognize it when it whispers, and may we heed it at the moments that it has the audacity to shout at us, to land in our laps like a fish we've been reeling in for months. May we be responsible in our search for it, and take care that our seeking is both rigorous and kind. And may we know that our truth in this moment, this slippery fish, may not last forever. That we change with the world, that the creative process unfolds. May we let go of that which no longer serves and awaken to what is calling to us here, today, now. May it be so. Amen.
for today is called The Whole Self, another poem by Naomi Shahidna. You put your whole self in, you put your whole self out, you put your whole self in, and you shake it all about. The Hokey Pokey. When I think of the long history of the self on its journey to becoming the whole self, I get tired. It was the kind of trip you just keep making. Over and over again, the bag you pack and repack so often, the shirts start folding themselves the minute you take them off. I kept detailed notes in a brown notebook. I could tell you when the arm joined, when it fell off again, when the heart found the intended socket and settled down to pumping. I could make a map of lost organs, the scrambled liver, the misplaced brain. Finally, we met up with one another on a street corner in October during the noon rush. I could tell you what I was wearing, how suddenly the face of the harried waitress made sense. I gave my order in a new voice, spoke the word vegetables like a precious code. Had one relapse at a cowboy dance in Bandera, Texas, under a sky so fat the full moon was sitting right on top of us. Give me back my villages, I mowed, the ability to touch and remove the hand without losing anything. Take me off this mountain where 6 counties are visible at once. I want to remember what it felt like, loving by inches. You put the whole self in. I'll keep with the toe. But no,